HW. Thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. I can hardly get that out. I'm so excited. This, my friends, this is it. This is the 1968 purple Plexi. Are you serious? The mystery amp is here. I even dyed my hair. Can you see this? I dyed my hair purple. I'm so excited about this thing. Oh my, listen. This amp, it's got a story and it's beautiful. You are looking right here at what will now be known affectionately as HW's Purple Plexi, because I want to be buried inside the cabinet. No, this is, I believe, maybe the most original Purple Plexi in North America, possibly anywhere. This thing has a unique history because it actually went through two different larger collections, which resulted in it being not played for a long time, or played very, very little, but maintained in those collections, checked up on. What's interesting is that this amp actually has original red dye solder joints, all of them. It's completely virgin. It's like a time machine. I paid an arm and a leg for this thing. It cost me, but yeah, I actually has tasted it before. It tastes like how much it cost. It really does. This is this matching cabinet, T1221 greenbacks, just like are in my other cab. Oh, they are just heavenly, remarkable. They are brilliant, brilliant and beautiful. This actually belongs to Aspen Pittman, and it was part of his large collection of tube amplifiers. And it is a real a beast of an amplifier. It really is. Original 1968 in beautiful purple. Every Marshall should be purple, in my opinion, from now on. And after Aspen Pittman's collection, it was sold to a private collector in the Northeast who has taken care of it for the last 25, 30 years or so, and sold it now to HW. But he almost never played it while it was in his possession. He had 1,000 guitars and hundreds of tube amps. He had a collection rivaling the best in the world. And just a junkie, man, just a real tone junkie. And he took care of this thing, but he really just stored it for all that time. So from Aspen Pittman to this private collector to me, and it just is an incredible amplifier. I took such great care. And I don't know that I've ever been more proud of profiles in my life than these. This truly is, honestly, it's been an emotional experience, this amplifier, because it's such a special piece of history and you get one chance to get these things right. And so I'm gonna just say this, judge me by these profiles. Judge Tone Junkie by these profiles. This is my absolute best. This is my absolute, I can do no better than these. I really strongly believe that. And I want you to hear these because they are just, you close your eyes and you listen to these things and they're just incredible. They're incredible. Now, I will tell you one thing. I have a 71 Plexi behind the camera here. Compared to this 68, they are so different. I can't even believe, they should have renamed the amplifier. This is the first iteration of Plexi that bore the name JMP. That is the first Marshall amp that didn't say JTM on it. And they really are incredible for this reason. They never get too harsh in the high end. They're growly like a dragon, and they don't have that bitey, toppy, harsh end that the 70s stuff does. See, in 69, they moved from this original plexiglass. In 69, they changed to metal. Now, the front half of 69, they did that midway through 69. So some 69s are going to be identical circuit-wise and everything to this amp. And then some 69s are going to be identical to a 1970. So it was a transition year for them, but I have a 71, and by 71, I will tell you, they almost should have called these two different amps because they're that different. They are that different. So we got to talk about this thing. I want you to know how we capture the profiles. I'm so excited for you to hear this. First of all, let me just show you how this thing sounds, because we profiled this in a couple different ways, and I want to get into this, but you got to hear the sound of this thing. Check it out. classic recording. That's every classic rock record. Are you serious? That amount of aggression and crunch. Now, let's talk about, you know what? No. You want to hear a strat. Here's a strat. Did you hear that? I heard it. I've impressed myself. That tone is so rich, so complicated, so expensive sounding. That tone is infectious. When you play this amp, you gotta wear your mask. You'll give somebody something with this tone. Come on, man. This is my favorite amp in the world. The Trainwreck, honestly, might be tied almost, but the history in this just gives this a little bit of a tipping point. They're different, right? They're different animals, but I can't decide which animal I like better. But this thing is not going anywhere. Okay, you probably want to understand what we were trying to accomplish, what we were trying to achieve with these profiles, and how we got the sound, because this is Tone Junkie's first super pack. So many profiles inside. I'm not even going to get into all of them, but what I want you to understand is this. The two main sounds that are going to be the classic Plexi sounds are going to be the M and the H speaker. But we wanted to capture these two different ways to really capture what we've heard through time. Marshalls have a reputation as being mid-rangey rock amps, but Plexis are kind of everything amps. There's a ton of low end growling at you, there's a ton of upper mids, and then there's all this high end sonic character coming out at you. And the speakers make a huge difference. So I actually took these T1221s and created the M profiles. M stands for the greenbacks, which we all know and love today, the G12M, 25 watt greenbacks, I guess they're 20 watts at this time, and it's hard to understand how it all goes if they were just misreading or whatever. You know, they're 15 ohms. That's the equivalent of the 16 ohm now. They did different stuff back then. The T1221 is the greenback speaker. It's the iconic. It's what the Heritage Celestions today are based on, and they're absolutely beautiful. M profiles you will find here along with H profiles. Now the H profiles came courtesy of a 1970 Orange cabinet. That 1970 Orange cab though has speakers which are dated to 1969. They are the H30 speaker, the larger magnet. That is the G12H. 30 watt with the 55 hertz cone. Not to be confused with the Hendrix speaker, which is the 75 hertz cone, which I'm trying to get my hands on right now. But H and M, what are you gonna hear? M is gonna be a little more high-end present and open, not as much high mids, a little scoopier in the mids, but not scooped. Greenbacks are probably my favorite all-time speakers. H is gonna be more upper mid-range character going into treble character. And honestly, I've never liked H30s as much as greenbacks until now, until I got this new orange cab. So I wanna show you a little clip showing off these M and H variants. Check it out. if that isn't tone that makes you want to play the guitar. Come on, Purple Amp! What are you doing to me? What are you doing to HW here? Now, one more thing I want you to understand. Not only do we capture the M and the H profiles, but we also, we actually did two completely separate signal chains. And what's unique about that is I really wanted to get the mid-range rock voicing that you hear on so many recordings. And it's actually it's a little bit of, it's definitely microphone and recording tricks, because in real life, the treble of these amplifiers is so forward, it can be different to dump some of the high-end presence and the super low rumbly growly thing and get you a focused rock tone. But we did it, okay? Combining a Fathead and an SM545 along with some API preamps. I also outfitted these things for these profiles, especially from the original tongue SRAMs that were in there, instead with Mullards, because I felt that that was really the proper voice for sort of the vintage British plexi rock thing. And it gives you a sound like this. Now, you can contrast that with profiles that have a B in the title. B means bright. Now, in this case, the channel numbers actually indicate channel 1, which is a brighter channel 2, which is darker, and then J meaning jumper. But in this case, B on the profile doesn't mean the bright channel. In fact, we labeled all the profiles 1, 2, and J, so you can know if you're getting the brighter plexi channel, the girthier plexi channel, or the jumper together. But where we labeled the profile B for bright, we actually used brighter tubes and a brighter signal chain. Now, what this meant was we were going for a very vintage recorded plexi sound. So we didn't want to focus on taking out as much bass and low end. But one of the signature things that you hear in all those old Jimi Hendrix, all those old classic rock recordings is the high end is bright, but you can hear the signature kind of sonic thing of the ribbon microphone, allowing that high end to maintain sweetness. And part of that is the Rupert Neve kind of sounding, a preamp kind of thing that you might hear on some records. So what I found worked really well was we got rid of the Mullards, the Mullard tubes that were in here, and we tubed it with Amprex Bugle Boys. Now, the Amprex Bugle Boy 12AX7 is by far my absolute favorite tube for cleans. It really takes out the mid-range and compared to the Mullard, you can hear less mid-range just in the tube. It's so crazy how much an amp can change just from a tube. And one 12AX7, and what it does is it gives this high-end punch that is really beautiful, and it takes out some of that extra, especially the lower mids. And we combine that with some Neve-style pre's, and then from there, using just a ribbon microphone, the Royer 121, the Royer 101, the brightest ribbon mic that I own, which is really sort of a modern interpretation of one of those older ribbons. It's almost supposed to sound like an old ribbon with some brightness and presence added on, which for this application, I'm so glad I bought that mic. It's never been my favorite mic, but in this application, for this thing, with those tubes and with the Neve, it's some of my favorite voice profiles we've ever put out. It is all of the classic plexi recordings you've ever heard. Listen. Now, finally, through a little bit of magic, I wanted to know what a Plexi would sound like with my beloved 1966 Alnico silver speakers. HW, you're gonna blow them. HW, don't do it. It's 50 watts. They can only handle 30. Don't worry about it. We used a load box and we got these X profiles. So check it out on the Strat. It's a wonderful, beautiful combination of Plexi drive, brighty, toppy, high end, but then you get this weird Alnico silver thing, and it's like a Plexi and a Vox walked into a bar, and the bartender was like, "You don't belong together," and then HW was like, "Hey, knock it off, man, all right? They're my buddies, they're my pals, leave them alone." My friends, I am beyond excited for you to try out these profiles. The mystery amp for me has been almost the end of something and the beginning of something. It feels like Tone Junkie is coming full circle. I don't know why that is. I feel like it's the turning of a page, a new chapter. I have been to the mountain. I've seen the mountain, and I return with profiles of the mountain. My friends, thank you so much. Please play these profiles and enjoy them. There's some free ones that are up on the Tone Junkie site right now. Check out the link below. They're incredible. They are my very best work. I hope you enjoy them. These profiles that I'm offering you right there are going to be 3 or 4 profiles. They're 100% free, because even if you don't buy the mystery amp, I want you to experience some of the magic that is the 68 Purple Plexi. It just is incredible. I'm so over the moon about this thing. I'm gonna move it into the other room there with me where I can just look at it all the time and enjoy it. It's a piece of art. It's a piece of history. I could almost cry when I look and hear this thing. Enjoy. The full pack is out tomorrow. You'll be able to get the whole thing at tonejunkistore.com. Check it, but in the meantime, check out these free profiles. The mystery amp is here. Purple is the new pink. And if you can't tell, I'm a little bit excited. Thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV, HW, and the Purple Plexi, the mystery amp, out.